Whoa, dude. We're in a time vortex. Boom. What's going on, guys? Oh. Delete. Delete. A new update for Warframe? What? Let's go. Who the fuck is that, dude? Ugh. It's a mushroom man. The Valis. Oh, we're going back to Fortuna? All right, dude. Oberon rework. Yo, my boy Oberon is back to being busted. Yo. That's wild. Dude. My boy Obi Trice, dude. Obi Trice, dude. Why does it always make the fart noise, Will? Like, Jesus. Oh, hey, it's that guy from yesterday. What's up, dude? What's going on, man? Fancy seeing you, officer. So far, I've had the three things that were required to be up in Canada. What is it? Poutine, Donaires, and ketchup chips. Those were the three rules. Waiting for the little guy to finish his strawberry milk so we can hit the road. Dude, he was so chilled, man. He was just vibing yesterday. You need authentic maple syrup and pancakes now. Yes. Yes. What's going on, Pixie? We got to get right into the news. Yes. Hell yeah, dude. Optimize. He doesn't want to embarrass himself? That's crazy, dude. What if you're raising like a little politician, dude? Like he's gonna like run for like office or something, dude. Hilarious jokes last night on Jimmy Kimmel. Oh man, I wish I could watch Jimmy Kimmel stuff, but they hit with copyright stuff, dude. But what was he saying, dude? A-holes. Well, it's like NBC. It is impressive that he's that cognitive of the way of the world works already. Yeah, dude, he's already smarter than me, man. Like that little dude was like, you could watch him ponder on shit, dude. Like you could see it like thinking in real time. Like the cogs are turning. You're like, what is this little dude doing right now in the back of his head, man? Oh shit, I can't remember. I got brain frogs. Facts, dude. Facts. Oh, dude, this light is so much brighter today than normal. That's why you don't take like a day off in the middle of the week to go fucking do stuff? Because goddamn, dude, I'm getting my eye holes are getting uppercutted right now. You're not the first one to point that out. Facts, dude. Also, kids have expressive eyes. That's crazy. You're like, whoa. Now I know why anime makes eyes so massive, dude. Dude, I'm so stoked for Oberon, man. Just look at him. He looks beautiful. Fucking Chad chin. Long, beautiful locks, dude. Just totally ripped. Just totally ripped. But like, you know, a little modest dad bod here, you know? Just a little modest dad bod going on here. He's a little chunky. He's got a little meat on him, you know? Just a little meat. Oberon is dream dad bod, bro. He could probably lift a little more. I mean, this is a little... that's a little disappointing. Ugh. What up, man? Dude, they should always have at least one rework in the pipeline. I totally agree. Like League, with how many fucking characters they have to have 5 reworks at all times in the pipeline, dude. Bro, dude, Canada is a little whack, dude. Canada is fucking insane. These are like $3 back where I'm from in Ohio. Like, bro, I would be buying Swishers like nothing, dude. This was $17 in Canada, man. Jesus Christ. These are like the worst things you could smoke. You're all fired. 7 people in here and I'm the first to like. You're all fired. Damn, Nikki, whoa. They want you to be healthier up here? Yeah. Yeah, but you just get one to smoke like every once in a blue moon, bro. Holy shit. And they don't even sell those at gas stations. I had to go to a smoke shop in the mall. It's crazy. But, you know, I was looking for my honeyberry backwoods, dude. I wanted to see if they were in Canada, man. I haven't had one in like 5 months. And I was like, damn, dude. Just want a little honeyberry on the lips. Bro, this is like the taking longer than anything. Different rules in the cold lands. Exactly, dude. Exactly. The fucking cold lands. Oh, dude, I can't wait until I just walk off your guys' winners. It's gonna be so awesome. You guys are gonna be like, wait, what? And I'll be like, you guys you ain't that different. At $17, I'm jacking it. I like what the heck. Likes don't come up, though I did just hit a second ago. I think, or you were typing it. Ew. Inside an actual mall with people? No thanks. Bro, dude, all right, look. I was watching, what was it? I think it's season 3? Yeah, season 3 of Stranger Things, where they add the mall. But we're about to start our 4-hour journey back home. Have a good one, and hopefully I'll talk to you tonight. Hell yeah, dude. I'll be on tonight, brother. We got to get into some business. It's Friday, dude. Yeah. Why are you stuck at 20%, dog? What's going on? Optimize that download cache, bro. If I remember, it's 2 people out there. Yeah, dude. I'm off Saturday, but back to work Sunday. Ah, cool. All right, man. I'll be on tonight. We going late. We going late, dude. Whoa. All right, sorry. Dude, I remember last time I had to try to do this optimization thing. It didn't work. and then I had to exit and come back in, and then it worked. Fuck, dude. Well, that puts a big hamper on the stream. Oh, that's just really... Oh, it's moving. There it goes. Cool. What was that drink, Will? It's one of these energy drinks that are Rockstar Zero Sugar and shit. At the end of we bought 2 6-packs of like Diet Pepsis or whatever. When those 6-packs are done, I'm going full water full time. Yeah. But don't worry, I got my water too. See, we Gucci. What's going on? All the beautiful people are already here. Come on, man. Hurry up and download, bro. We just trying to vibe right now. So I did not see the Ren song yet. Any opinions? Any potential spoilers? I mean, was it just dope? I mean, I didn't get to catch it. Yeah. I'm such a mom. No spoilers. Facts. I'm just saying, like, one on a scale of 1 to 10, were you bopping, dude? I'm such a mom. Nah, Nikki. You are the enforcer. You came in here swinging, dude. Nikki was like, yo, 7 people in here, no likes. She was about to fucking drop the hammer, bro. It's funky and it's awesome. That's all I'm saying. I got you. Well, now I'm eager, bro. Like the Skinner Brothers, I will say I fucking loved all of Ren Babe's lyrics. Got you. The Skinner Brothers has a lot of, like, from the songs I've heard, experimental, like, sounds. They don't use, like, stereotypical hip hop noises. You know what I mean? It sounds like they like have a mix of like synth and then industrial at the same time. Of course, he's a babe in it. Damn, dude. I woke up this morning, bro. Had to do a dab. I'm sorry, I was actually a little late today, bro. I had an emergency bathroom thing, bro. Coffee has downsides. That's all I'm gonna say, dude. Like, holy fuck, dude. If you ever want to just have like the worst experience, pound like 3 coffees in a single day. If you can get to 5, dude, you're gonna be an automatic machine gun, dude. Just what the fuck? Like it just destroys your entire inside system, but it feels dope. Like why is Canada like actually no, I get it, dude. Canada's really cold, dude. It's really cold is what they say. I keep hearing this. I keep hearing that Canada's cold. We'll find out. But if it is as cold as they say, these motherfuckers need coffee to like survive. They drink coffee like you're supposed to drink water. Maybe, you know what? Maybe Canadians drink coffee like it is water. Like that is their water, dude. They got to keep their water hot or else it's going to freeze, dude. Holy fuck, dude. I cracked a stereotype, dude. What's up? Sorry. Yeah, Zach Soulboy Skinner said he was out of his comfort zone a bit with this one because he's using relays. What's water? Exactly, dude. Water is like the worst thing on earth, dude. What up, Ricardo? I heard a Canadian say the definition of fear is being stuck in a traffic after coffee. Wait, Wait, no, I totally get that. They say the definition of fear is being stuck in traffic after coffee and a bran muffin. Like in the toilet? It's the cold that makes me think twice. I live in Iowa, about to freeze death. I may be part reptile. Oh, that's crazy, dude. Dude. Oh my God. Like the wake up process, dude, is just absolutely rancid. Just feeling like your whole body like start to come alive. You're just like, oh man, is this what it means to be a human? And yet I hate. Wait, okay, yeah, but like, you hate Florida like it's a conundrum, bro. Hating extreme colds and heats, I think is the norm, dude. God damn, dude. That third dab did me in, bro. I'm barely holding on right now, man. Oh, we got a new thing, dude. We went and got some, well, I did. I went and got some diamonds in sauce from a dispensary. And, you know, they're pretty good, man. They're pretty good, dude. I need a my girlfriend was like, why don't you just get a part-time job at a dispensary? The man dropped yet another new track. This dog is on fire, man. It's it's the humans in Florida that the temp dabs will shit, let me catch up. Oh man, dude, these diamonds and sauce are cooking my brain right now, dude. I'm having a really good time. Man, it's weird, dude. Like I take a day off to go do like meet with like in real life people and stuff, and I still be missing my homies here too. Like what the fuck? Nah, it was a good day yesterday, bro. We went to Regina, man. To meet like we'll just do full came. Oh fuck, dude. That scared the shit out of everybody. I'm sorry. We went to Regina, dude, to meet up with you know, the #1 channel supporter, dude, Steve. That's my boy, dude. Having I missed you yesterday, William. Exactly, dude. Lemon diesel concentrate fucks me up. Holy shit, dude. Lemon diesel? So what is that, like sour diesel with like lemon haze? Bro, that would fucking melt your brain, man. Holy shit. So we met up with my buddy here and his family. I got to meet his lady for the first time. She was a charming individual. She was quite adorable. And then dude, I got to meet his little dude. Bro, he's got a little dude, bro. Little dudes are so crazy. I could never be a parent, dude. I could never, but holy shit, dude. It was a very cute family, man. It's like, it's good to see my friend from different aspects of his life at different times. Like, it really makes you, like, storyboard some shit out. You're like, whoa. I knew him in this era of his life, and now I know him in this era of his life. And this era is such, like, a massive improvement from what it was before. And you're just like, hell yeah, brother, get that shit. You know, it's just good, you know? Then we had, what was that shit called? A donaire. Like, okay, they got like, you know, like how Chipotle has their like food and like Subway, you can go in and build your shit. Hothead does the same thing. Bro, apparently they got places that do donaires. My boys have been trying to explain to me what a donaire is for like fucking 13 goddamn years. And this whole time it was just a gyro, bro, or a gyro, or I don't speak that language, man. I'm not Greek. But it was just it's floppy bread in a pancake. Like, what the fuck? Oh my God, I missed you bad yesterday because of my fucking brain fogs. I forgot you said you were doing that, hence my wake up thing to you yesterday. Sorry. Oh no, you're good. I don't get to pick in Texas, but I love blue cheese. What? So glad you had a good time. Hell yeah, dude. Look, dude. I mean, it was good. You know what I mean? Like, it has like a weird gravy sauce, mozzarella cheese, and then I think like some cook. I would have guessed closer to a donut. Nah, bro. It was good, bro. It's weird too because you're biting into like meat, like you're biting into meat, but then it's sweet. And you're like, what? What? Dude, there's like a weird thing in Canada, right? Where like they have these foods that are all about weird textures. They have like these weird popcorn chips that you can put into your mouth. And then when you're in your mouth and you close your mouth, like the wetness of the mouth just starts to dissolve the popcorn chips. And then like there's nothing to swallow and you're like, what the fuck just happened? Was I even supposed to chew that? I don't That's my American English going. Words sound similar. It's the same thing. Exactly, dude. Yeah, but also though, like, dude, it tasted like a donut. It was just meat and bread, dude. It was very strange, dude. I'm very perplexed right now. Oh, dude. Come on, dude. Get in there, dude. 100%. Holy shit. Dude, I know what you're saying. It sounds grotesque, and yet it is just absolutely ball-shakingly good. Dude, there's a new mushroom man, dude. This is who I want to see, dude. Like, what's this all about? Look at these little mushroom dudes here, dude. What the fuck? Oh, what the fuck did I just do, bro? So there's a new Warframe, a new skin, a $15 skin. Gee, oh, never mind. Okay, never mind. Oh God. Ooh, Lavos gets a pretty sick ass skin. What the fuck?
You seek rewards, Hunter?
Ah.
Sure, we see the web comments, the love, the hate, all of it. There's so much I wish we could tell you.
Tenno, for so long I have waited, but no more. I implore you to hurry.
What?
I do not know how long I have. New treasures will be yours, but beware. You must come now. Forgive my patience.
Why does he look different? What the fuck did they do to him?
Fear nothing untoward. All will be well.
What the fuck?
Getir.
Oh my God, it's Katir? I've been calling him queer this whole time. I literally just thought it was Baro Katir. I don't know. Bro. Dude, Ricardo, get that coffee, man. Why are you giving me a free Oberon? What the fuck? Oh shit, no, it's not done. I gotta now build this. Light slime. How long is that gonna take? 12. Alright, so by midnight? No. By 2 a.m. No. Bro. I'm fucking rocked right now, man. Okay, well, how do you get that dude? What's the... I have not seen it say new quest in fucking years. What's this? I don't math? Nah, dude. Apparently neither do I when I'm baked, dude. Oh, dude, Nightwave ends in 10 days. If I hammer this out and go hard, can I do it? I'm only level 6. There's no way. And the ephemera was really cool, too. That's a bummer. Okay. Picture this, we were both butt naked, banging on the bathroom floor. Man, alright, well. I want to quit playing this bitch, so let's just go finish her goddamn stuff up. Oh, man. Is anyone else having audio skips? Oh, no. I'm so confused. Why is everyone's... I did that. I was so confused, bro. Alright, these guys are right to the point, dude. Cool. Get kneecap, bitch. It's probably me, Will. No. I guess I should turn on music or something, bro. But I mean, like, so what's everyone doing today, man? What's on the docket? Today is probably going to be my last, like, 6-hour stream. I'll probably start only doing, like, 3 hours of streaming so I can do, more, editing, during the day so I can get higher quality videos out. I think that might be the move. And then I'm gonna try a few silly things on the back burner and stuff. I'm high, so I'm just up in the clouds at the moment. Exactly, man. Bro, I'm thinking that when we go van life, because that's when it's gonna be super easy to do it. When we go van life is how I'm gonna start doing like full blown weed reviews, dude. Though we are starting like a weed journal now on brands and how they feel, easeability, you know, type stuff of using it. I think that's gonna be pretty funny. Just going on a side quest in my headspace. Yeah, dude. Those are the best. Like, you don't even have to aim this gun, dude. What's the point of playing the game when you don't have to aim the gun? That's my Wi-Fi resetting. Be back in a few minutes. All right, Nikki, see you soon. Hopefully it's all settled and everything is gooch.
Do you choose to leave now or continue fighting? Another opportunity to extract will appear soon.
And then this way, you guys also get more of your life back. You know what I mean? And then we'll save Music Reacts just for like individual videos. We'll do 2 reacts a day, I'm thinking. Now, it might take a day or 2 for things to start loading in. Ricardo. But like Music Reacts will be like an off-stream thing after today, of course. Because at the end of today, we're going to do a song that Kia picked out, and then I'm gonna probably do the Ren song, the Skinner Brothers one, with you guys, and then after that, music reacts are gonna be like their own thing that I do after the stream. Fuck, I think I'm in Limbo's world and I don't know how to get out of it. Yeah, dude. What's up, punks? No spoilers. Exactly, dude. It's punk rock, oddly. That's good. Because I think Ren has the voice for that shit, dude. He clearly does, you know. We saw that with the last one in Vincent's Tale, man. He had like a little bit of a rasp in that, dude. I would love to hear Ren attempt some kind of like heavy rock, heavy metal attempt at music, dude. That'd be pretty cool. A funk vibe, huh? I mean, that's even dope too. Now my interests are even further piqued. He's always changing with, yeah. It straddles genres. Hot, by the way. Hot. How many of the ladies out there would sign up for Ren to straddle? Gotta turn into like a bad deaf. They both do. Oh damn, bro. This punk. Hey Will. Hey chat. What's up, Vicky? What is this cowardice, dude? Oh no, the host left. Oh, that's so trash, bro. That's so trash, bro.
Our position has been compromised. Defend the cargo.
What up?
Stay focused. There's a heavy
Bro. I can't believe that even like the Fox News right now is reporting on on like accurately on what Donald Trump is doing right now, dude. It's fucking wild, dude. They're like, yeah, no, this is like pretty fucking grossly authoritarian. Then all those leaked text messages, like, holy fuck, or what's up chat or whatever, or what's up, whatever, man. Like, I could tell you, man, I say some pretty fucked up shit, I believe. I really do. You know, I make unhinged jokes all the time. I'm a very, I lack taste, you know what I mean? Like, you have no idea what I'm talking about, dude? Okay, so, like, you remember, like, Fox? Well, the Pentagon essentially was telling reporters they had to, like, reaffirm a policy, and they had to sign a pledge, essentially giving them, like, the liability to, kick out people if they, report on things that the White House deems you're not an elected politician. Yeah. Oh my God, I'm way too fast now. So essentially the White House is telling people, or the Pentagon is telling people that they can only report on news that they sign off on, even if it is not classified. Essentially, they would have to, like, it would be state-controlled media. They get to dictate what the media is releasing to the public. And essentially every media organization, every single one of them, other than one, were like, no, we're not signing this. And then like even Fox, yeah, dude. And then even Fox News would release a joint statement, you know, going like, yeah, we're not doing. They even aired it like publicly, like through their whole network. Brett Baer was on the news saying like what Trump is doing is completely disgusting, and like I think the only one that signed on with it was OAN, I believe, or something like that. Like the two super far right ones actually are saying that this is unprecedented and yeah, fucking completely wild and unacceptable. Yeah, dude. It's actually fucking crazy, man. We'll probably, let's see here. I'm pretty sure we can. Oh, see what we could find here.
Someone in Cetus must have answers. Come on, sweet things. Give it
Wait, dude. Tucker Carlson and Alex. Holy fuck. Yes, dude, it's happening. They're actually going to turn on Trump. Holy shit. All right, we got to watch it. I'm sorry, guys.
Can't allow someone to.
Oh, okay. All right. Now, activate this one while gaming. Holy shit. There's no way.
Something crazy and invokes your name, you don't get arrested for the
No,
thing
I
that you
agree.
did.
And Trump stood up for J6ers and others.
I agree.
So why? Okay, so you're going to let them shut down My Pillow. You're going to let them shut down InfoWars. It's not me. I understand Trump's got bigger fish to fry, but my listeners are enraged by this. They are like, why are you still supporting Trump? Because it's not Kamala Harris. We're getting more done. But if Trump doesn't understand, if he can't support his supporters, I don't know what he can do.
As we've discussed extensively in multiple videos, the Trump administration is just objectively authoritarian and fascistic in terms of its ambitions to punish Donald Trump's political opponents. But they are also objectively wildly incompetent. And you know who
That's
agrees
crazy,
with that?
Vicky.
Two of the biggest Trump supporters in existence, Tucker Carlson and Alex Jones. And during a recent conversation, they humiliated the Trump Justice Department and ultimately, by extension, Trump himself, and we have to talk about it. But before we do, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. All right, friends, it's always good to see MAGA on MAGA criticism and humiliation and infighting. So let's play this clip from Alex Jones and Tucker Carlson's recent conversation in which they do just that.
Simple question to you, could the current Department of Justice shut this down?
Yes. The DOJ's Office of Bankruptcy already had one U.S. trustee fired, the next caught in a fake auction. My lawyers have filed lawsuits. It's cut and dry illegal, bankruptcy fraud. So, that information went out as well. So they know that. And
1984 is coming to life. Exactly, dude. They arrested someone here the other day and found out they were a citizen. They got a $130 no paper ticket. What? Please vibes. Good day, lost ones. Papers, please vibes. Yep. What's going on, Lou?
Todd Blanche is protecting the FBI and DOJ under orders from Obama, then Biden, to get me off the air. And we have all the documents where they funded it illegally. We have all the proof. We sued them. We deposed them. I spent millions deposing them all, getting all their emails, top law firms. And then the Justice Department gets the information, and Ed Martin goes after him and says, preserve your records. I want to talk to you. And then Todd Blanche comes in and says, I'll fire you, Ed Martin. Shut this son of a bitch down right now. Ed Martin needs to be the Deputy Attorney General. And he didn't say that. Okay, I have other DOJ sources that tell me what goes on, but this is the reality.
And could they do that? I mean, because like in the end, I don't think you should use government to make your friends rich or give them special favors. But if you can't deliver.
How the hell can you be a Trump supporter? I mean, I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. It's just shocking to hear that from a Trump supporter. given that that's the raison d'etre of the second Trump administration. It's punishing Trump's political opponents and Trump using the government to enrich himself, his family, and friends.
For justice to people who are on your side. You know, you're not doing it right.
Will Trump sit there because Todd Blanche kisses his ass, this little Democrat snake, and crucify Mike Lindell and crucify his thousands of employees in Minnesota? Probably. I'm not mad at Trump. I know you're busy, Trump. It's okay. But if you think, oh, this law firm, Paul Weiss, that's been running the bankruptcy attacks on us, agreed to pay $40 million in restitution, agreed to illegal lawfare against Trump and his family and his supporters. And they promised when Boris Epstein got the deal for him 6 months ago to never target any of his supporters again. They wrote off part of their $40 million community service bill and suing me. And so they're still attacking all his supporters, everybody else.
You know, you really have to clean up the justice system or else you can't have a country. I mean, this is just like absolutely crazy. I think that is why people voted for Trump. It's why I campaigned for him. You have to have justice in your country.
Tucker, I agree. More than an economy, more than stopping war.
I agree.
My listeners want indictments. And finally, Comey, Letitia James.
Indictments of the guilty, not indictments of people you don't like, not indictments of people who pissed you off or who opposed
that's
you.
cut and dry. They did everything.
People who committed crimes and who have escaped justice because of their political connections. That can't continue.
Yeah, but again, what's funny about that is the Trump-appointed U.S. attorney who was ultimately responsible for trying to prosecute James Comey and Letitia James declined to prosecute them because in his prosecutorial experience, he's like, I don't think they are guilty, or rather, I can't prove they're guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I can't bring this case, so I'm not going to bring this case. And Trump shit-canned him because he's doing exactly what Tucker Carlson says you shouldn't do, which is he has a personal vendetta against James Comey and Letitia James and others.
Oh, yeah, I need to switch
and
over
he
on.
wants to use the powers of the federal government to punish them regardless of their guilt or innocence. And again, just total naivete from Tucker Carlson. But I'm still here for them complaining about Trump and the Justice Department. So please continue.
Well, they started it, Tucker.
Oh, I know.
And so all I'm saying is that I'm a tough guy. I can handle all this. We'll continue on. People can follow me on Exit Real Talk shows. We've got the AGN network set up with sponsors. The point is that they said this is a model for everybody else. And then you've got Todd Blanche, who from all of my sources, I mean, he's a hardcore Democrat, Southern District of New York operative. He was Trump's criminal lawyer, lost those cases for Trump. And this is that weird Trump blind spot. So, hey, Trump, I get it. If you think cutting me loose and Mike Lindell, that's fine. I'm a big boy. I've defended you like nothing else. That's fine. If you think Todd Blanche, you know, you got meeting with Ghislaine Maxwell and all this other weirdness, if you think that snake is the answer for you, then you bet everything on that. But as for me, I just know the truth. And the Democrats literally are caught red-handed in their persecution of me and InfoWars and Mike Lindell. And so it's up to you to make the right move here.
I mean, Mike Lindell blew his life up on Trump's behalf. I mean, that's why we're here.
Hold on, dude. So they're just wanting Trump to step in and stop him from getting sued for his things that he... Dude. They just want him to abuse his power further?
It's because Mike Lindell loved Trump. And whatever you think of Mike Lindell, he's a very nice man, I think. But even if you hate Mike Lindell, just objectively, Mike Lindell was a pretty successful pillow salesman and got his life together, got off drugs, you know, became a Christian. And then he decided he really loved Trump and he thought Trump was being wronged and they stole the election from Trump. He really believed that. And now they're destroying him. And I just feel like if there's ever someone you need to defend, it's Mike Lindell.
Again, so see how Tucker tells on himself there? He's like, listen, all that stuff that I say Trump shouldn't do, well, actually, you should do because, I mean, Mike Lindell is a Christian and he loves you. And so, you know, you can't have him suffer any sort of legal consequences for crimes he may or may not have committed. So you see the hypocrisy there by Jones and Tucker. But again, as frustrating as that is, I'm also here for the fact that they're openly shit-talking Trump and the Justice Department. So please continue.
You can't allow, if someone does something crazy and invokes your name, you don't get arrested for the thing
I agree.
that he did.
And Trump stood up for J6ers and others.
I agree.
So why? Okay, so you're going to let them shut down My Pillow. You're going to let them shut down InfoWars. it's not me. I understand Trump's got bigger fish to fry, but my listeners are enraged by this. They are like, why are you still supporting Trump? Because it's not Kamala Harris. We're getting more done. But if Trump doesn't understand, if he can't support his supporters, I don't know what he can do. And I'll go back to Todd Blanche. Todd Blanche's been a die-in-the-wool top Democrat. He lost all the cases for Trump criminally. And from what I've heard, Bondi's not bad. She's just lazy. Bongino's emotional and a big baby. Patel is compromised.
Jesus Christ, dude. Is my boy just going ham? What the fuck is happening right now, dude? I mean, it's all just slurs, but I mean, it's just good to hear it said, you know? Like, I feel pretty good right now.
And it's just so sad. He should have Ken Paxton in there. They brought in the Missouri AG as the new deputy FBI head to get, as soon as Bongino leaves. And Bongino should stop worrying about his PR and how he looks and worry more about the future of the country here and put it all on the line, actually, instead of being a hothead. Bongino, I think, is a good guy. But Patel and, Bondi, these are just TV heads. These are just people that are here to be celebrities, in my view. And I'm just saying, and Todd Blanche is a Democrat Party operative who I think he's Bill Barr 2.0. They got another Veritas.
So Bill Barr, of course, being Trump's, the attorney general, one of Trump's attorney generals in his, attorneys general, I should say. That's the correct plural, in Trump's first term, the one who was a diehard conservative, basically auditioned for the role, but found that Trump was not really an ideological conservative. He's more of an ideologically inconsistent populist, a narcissist, moron, and authoritarian. And even Bill Barr eventually was just pressured out, right? So that was just fascinating. Again, Tucker Carlson, Alex Jones, conspiracy theorists, particularly Jones, wildly unprincipled. But again, even every now and then, as they're complaining, like, why aren't you doing more to protect your political allies and go after your political opponents, as if the Trump administration is deficient in either of these respects? I do appreciate the fact that they openly mocked Attorney General Pam Bondi, FBI Director Kash Patel, Deputy FBI Director Dan Bongino, and Deputy Attorney General, as you saw, predominantly he bore the brunt of not Elon Musk, Alex Jones and Tucker Carlson's criticism for being a really terrible criminal defense lawyer and a Democratic plan. Again, it's astounding. Anything they want to excuse on the deep state apparently still persists even in Trump 2.0.
Oh my God, dude. This is so what has to happen is the right has to distance itself. Like the actual Republican apparatus has to distance itself from Trump. Because they have to worry about the elections after Trump. They can't just make they have an actual election coming up where they don't want to seem as unhinged. And people like Ben Shapiro, even dipshits like Alex Jones and Tucker Carlson know that they have to appeal to people right now because we have a midterm coming up very soon. So they're going to try and make they're going to turn on Trump. This, honestly, what I think is going to start happening is that's exactly what's going to happen. Remember, I said Trump might be our last defense against really bad things happening. Trump is a narcissist, and he just wants to be loved or feared, either one. Now, if they try to oust Trump, that puts J.D. Vance and his butt buddy Stephen Miller right where they want to be without Trump's ego to block any of the shit that they want to do. There's a reason why when all those leaked text messages came out from the Young Republicans group, Trump ran away from that question like a lightning fucking, like a fucking flashbang of lightning. And he's like, I'm gone, bitch. Pocket sand. J.D. Vance is the one that's trying to tackle it head on, bro. They're testing to see how effective J.D. Vance messaging is right now, bro. I believe all of that shit.
Maybe Trump just objectively sucks at his job. But anyway, I'm here for all the mockery and infighting. I do want to close with this, though. So recently, Jeanine Pirro, former Fox News host, who is now the U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, the D.C. U.S. Attorney, she went after a group of people in D.C. who apparently attacked Big Balls, who was a Doge worker under Elon Musk, and they made a high profile. We're going to go after it because, again, he's a political ally of Donald Trump. And apparently, basically, the effort failed. And so Trump was asked about this, and he just had a funny response.
Here in D.C., a judge has given the 2 teenagers that beat up ex-Doge staffer Big Balls probation.
That's incredible.
And no jail time. Is this justice?
Janine Pirro is doing a fantastic job, and she is beside herself.
Well, she's apparently not doing a fantastic job. This is also the lady who who tried to prosecute but couldn't successfully indict the guy who threw a sandwich, not a brick, not a bottle, nothing sharp, a sandwich at federal authorities. It was either the National Guard or ICE as they were sweeping Washington, D.C. She couldn't eat. There was the expression that a grand jury would indict a ham sandwich, and Janine Pirro sucks at her job so much she couldn't even get that done. So there you have it, folks. Even from some of Trump's highest profile and most fervent supporters, they think that the Trump administration is just wildly incompetent and that should be even more corrupt, just more competent in their corruption. And they even called out Trump repeatedly. I mean, my God, you saw Alex Jones look at the camera and basically castigate Trump for his foolishness in Alex Jones's mind. So I'm here for it. More Alex Jones and Tucker Carlson want to pick on Trump, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Todd Blanche, Dan Bongino.
Both the New Men and Skinner Bunner track are trending at the same time. What? That's what's up, dude. Whoa. Excuse me.
They never said they would stop building settlements, and they continued to encroach into more territory in the West Bank. So when I look at the structure of this deal, there's a lot of room for Netanyahu to engage in kind of tomfoolery.
Donald Trump arrives in Israel as Israeli hostages detained since October 7, 2023, will be released by Hamas. So when you look at this, how significant is this day?
I don't want to just be like a hater, but I mean, like, we already had peace in the Middle East in Trump's first term. I remember them saying that over and over again, peace in the Middle East, peace in the Middle East. Trump does this thing. He's very good at like saying he has all these deals, but there are no deals. And then he just keeps saying it until everybody believes it, even though they're not actually there. Unless something has changed, as of my flight over, I've read the, was it 20 or 21 point plan?
20.
Nothing has actually been like worked out, I don't think.
Well, phase 1 is today. Well, phase 1 is over the weekend. So that is working out today, where the hostages will be released and, of course, these political prisoners.
And then I think it's some 2,000 Palestinians, I think, are supposed to be released from Israeli prisons.
250, yeah.
Was it 250?
250 Palestinian prisoners will be released today.
There's like a lot of vagueness in each of the points, so I'm not entirely sure what it means long term, or if this is just another thing that kind of like falls apart again after a couple weeks. I feel like we've had a lot of ceasefires and we've heard them say the problem has been solved a lot. It seems like a deal that it looks like Israel is getting a lot out of it, I would say. And I'm typically the pro-Israel guy, but it kind of reads like an Oslo III agreement. They're talking about de-radicalizing the entire Palestinian Authority. I don't know what all that entails. I don't think there are any details of that. They're saying that Hamas is to be completely removed from the government. I'm not sure. Does that mean that anybody that was part of the government before can't be a part of the new government, period? Or they just can't have the Hamas entity? I don't know if that's like been solved yet. I mean, like, anything that stops the fighting, I think, is good, just because I'm sick of talking about it, and I don't want to have any more of my, U.S. politics brain wasted on Israel-Palestine. I don't know how many more times, Netanyahu can invade Gaza to look for Hamas. It feels like it's kind of run its course, so yeah. But no, I'm not giving any credit to Trump when I feel like this war has ran its course, has ran its course for like so long, and now they're finally winding it down and figuring out some kind of off-ramp. And I mean, I don't even know what there's left to shoot bombs at on the Gaza Strip anymore.
But do you think he should? I mean, you're correct in the saying that there is so much this 20-point peace plan that hasn't happened yet, and there is so much kind of, I guess, pessimism in terms of if this would happen. But for right now, today, obviously, quite a few hostages that have been detained for over 2 years today will be released back to their families. And it was Donald Trump, I guess, and his administration that got that over the line. So do you think he should deserve a little bit of credit for at least that? Because this is a big deal, these hostages coming home. Obviously, the prisoners also, but the fact that there's also been a 72-hour ceasefire, but that will
give him a little, bro.
Pretty much right now.
I mean, it's nice. Hostages coming back are always a nice thing. If Hamas actually leaves, that's a nice thing. I don't know how much credit or how much Trump had to do, with engineering this outcome. If it seems like if he had a significant input in anything, he would have been able to end it sooner. So it seems like that it's kind of run its course, and now here we are at the end. and whatever that means. Yeah.
Why do you think Trump could broker at least this phase one? Even if, yes, it was him, it was Jared Kushner, it was Steve Witkoff, could get this deal of phase one over the line with Hamas and Israel, but Biden couldn't because the hostages was a strategic tool from Hamas. That was kind of what they had, their card to play. Biden unveiled his own three-phase plan back in May 2024. Israel accepted it, Hamas did not. And as you mentioned, there were a few ceasefires put in place. We thought that this was going to happen. And then on certain occasions it didn't happen. But today, that part of the phase has gone through. These people will be returned. Prisoners will be released.
Well, yeah, dude. Also, like, Hamas didn't think they were going to be completely eradicated to the point that they are now. Situations on the ground floor change everything, dude. Like, Hamas was a lot stronger when Biden was in office because the war had just started. You know what I mean? What the fuck? I mean, I give credit to Trump. Trump's team did it. Good job, guys. See how long it lasts. Let's go, dude, you know?
You said there's been this 72-hour ceasefire, partial withdrawal of Israeli troops out of Gaza. So I wonder, why did Trump get this through, but Biden couldn't?
If I had to guess, it's just probably the resolve of the Hamas resistance side has been pretty broken over the past year. I mean, all of their leadership has been killed. Israel's shown they don't even care about striking into, Qatar. We had the bombing in Iran from the United States. We've seen Hezbollah was basically completely dismantled. Nasrallah was killed. Yeah, I mean, at this point, it seems like there's not much left on the Hamas side in terms of resistance. So, I think Netanyahu got a lot of really good string of wins militarily over the past year and a half. So I think he's got, he can ride on that popularity. And then if they, get the hostages freed now, I don't know what else Hamas has left to fight with. Although I would have said that like 6 months ago too, but
Obviously, that was all part of the 20-point peace plan, as we mentioned. Phase one, obviously, being completed over the weekend or happening right now. But phase two, phase three, phase four, kind of where the real work begins. So I want to read out really what this entails. Phase two is literally the demilitarization and security, so the destruction of Hamas's offensive weaponry. So this literally includes getting rid of all the tunnels, their missile infrastructure to neutralize its capacity to threaten Israel. Gaza will become a de-radicalized terror-free zone. Phase three is the establishment of this transitional government structure. So obviously that would mean that Hamas no longer actually in a governing body, that they would create a new government, and there's the creation of the Board of Peace, which is this Tony Blair and Donald Trump thing. So,
can you clarify, is that Board of Peace, is it supposed to be the U.S. president on that, or is it Donald Trump?
He's on the board.
No, I know Donald Trump is on the board, but is it just him?
Donald Trump.
Okay, yeah, because I don't...
And then obviously more humanitarian aid. And then I guess...
Why the fuck? Ew, negative multi-shot. Ew, get the fuck out of here, dude. That's a 50% chance that when I fire my gun, no bullet comes out at all. No, thank you. That's insanity. Who in the fucking world would take that? I feel like this peace deal, like Trump is going to be allowed to stay on the board, or like he's like the one that decides, like the ultimate decider on who's correct on terms out there. That's so weird, dude. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Stage 4 is the reconstruction and pathway to Palestinian self-determination and recognition of statehood. So basically, there is a lot to do from now on. So do you think we can move out into phase 2, 3, and 4? Do you think Trump will be able to get there?
I mean, so this is like my broad, encompassing history to where we are today kind of feeling about things is I don't think that Netanyahu is a good partner for peace, for long-term peace for the Palestinians. Netanyahu, to me, always comes off as a bit opportunist, and that, if he's forced to make some kind of peaceful agreement or deal, he will, but he's always going to be, nibbling around the edges to push as far as he can. So like the Abraham Accords, I think, were largely spurred by Netanyahu wanting to annex more parts of Area C, I think, outside of Jerusalem. It's always like trying to take a little bit more. And when I look at this agreement, it's really like a framework.
Yeah.
I feel like it almost resembles, like Oslo 1, the Oslo Accords, and Oslo 2, like in 93 and 95. And the problem with those is that they were frameworks, they were patchwork, but both sides felt like both sides were kind of not adhering well to the agreement. Arafat was always reluctant to call off violence, and he didn't when the Second Intifada broke out. They never said they would stop building settlements, and they continued to encroach into more territory in the West Bank. So when I look at the structure of this deal, there's a lot of room for Netanyahu to engage in kind of tomfoolery. Whether I don't know what it means when he says he wants to. It looks like he wants to take apart the Palestinian Authority. It looks like they want to have their own government in the Gaza Strip. Is Netanyahu ever going to be okay with a unified government in the Gaza Strip and the West Bank?
I think he has to be. I think it's meant to be a Palestinian government that he has no control over.
For both, yeah. Well, yeah, we say no control though, but if Trump is going to be there and Trump doesn't know anything about Israel, and Trump will do basically whatever Netanyahu, asks him to do. It seems that way. It seems like Netanyahu's got a really long leash on this.
It's fucking wild. I hate America protest. That's crazy, dude. I mean, that's not even original. I think Trump is getting worse at this.
It just doesn't feel like a good situation if you're a Palestinian. You're hoping for some kind of long-term resolution. It looks like you're basically allowing Israel to dictate more terms to the Palestinian people for an indefinite period of time because there are no strict timelines or anything. Yeah.
Well, the other thing is that Donald Trump basically said if Hamas doesn't sign off on the rest of this proposal, that he basically would give license to Netanyahu for total obliteration of Hamas. Isn't that just that means the war continues?
Yeah, but what else are they going to obliterate? I don't know. Also, how many times has Trump said that? I feel like Trump said that, I think it might have been the day he got elected. He was like, they said that they're going to release all the hostages, and if they don't, then it's going to be total obliteration. And this was almost a year ago at this point. So, I don't even know this.
Foreign policy expert Harley Lippman, he told Sky News that the next stages will be very difficult. He said, remember, Hamas still bristles at the notion of disarming, so what they'll probably do is hide weapons. They may give up some, but it's there. Hamas is not like ISIS. Hamas will adjust and adapt. They even said it. They'll participate in the political process. They're very unusual that way. They know what they need to do for the moment is to just adjust to the new reality. They've done it before. So while they may be down, as the expression goes, they're far from out. So, I mean, Stephen, if this is the case, should the Trump administration be refraining from continuing to say that the war is over? Because that's what they've said.
Yeah, but he also says he's ended 7 wars, or I guess 8 now. So you kind of just have to ignore whatever comes out of the White House for the next 3 or 4 years because it's all kind of fantasy.
Is that what you do as an American?
I cover it, but I don't take it very seriously. I'm not quoting Trump for what's going on in the world, basically. Yeah.
Have you ever taken any administration seriously at their word?
Yeah, for sure. I think we live in a new era where the problem is Trump doesn't have a comprehensive vision, I think, for what Israel-Palestine should look like, what anything in the Middle East should look like. And, Witkoff is running around. I don't know all the time if he knows what's going on. He was our envoy to Russia, for instance. And I remember listening to him talk to Tucker Carlson, and he didn't know any of the regions that were being contested. Yeah. And that was just very strange to me because I think a month later he's talking to Putin and supposedly the one that's working out deals. So,
well, at one point he didn't take a translator.
Oh, they used the Russian provided ones. I remember that. Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff. But I think the issue, it sucks because I just sound like a hater. But I do believe that the issue is one of kind of knowledge and vision. Trump just doesn't have a good idea of what he wants any of these parts of the world to look like. And if you don't have a guiding vision, well, then who's to say who you're listening to or what you're trying to guide people towards?
Do you think that he's more so looking at this situation, not just Israel and Gaza, any sort of global conflict that he's wishing to solve? He almost wants to just wrap it up into a bow, but then forget about it.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
So he wants to say, I've solved this, but then he wants to wipe his hands clean.
Yeah, basically, yeah. That's why he keeps getting so mad at Putin, because every time they have a talk and then Putin starts bombing stuff again, that's why he's getting real mad and he's starting to side more and more with the Ukrainians because he feels like he's being taken for a ride, which he is.
He feels like he's being lied to.
Yeah, go figure.
Stephen, I want to get your thoughts on the government shutdown. It's ended its 12th day today. It doesn't seem like there really is an end in sight. Just for our audience.
Wait, it ended today?
No, 12th day, but it doesn't seem.
Oh, the day.
It doesn't seem like there is an end in sight. It's estimated that around 900,000 federal employees are furloughed, 700,000 are working without pay, 4,200 federal employees have already been cut, actually with permanent layoffs. So What's your take been on this shutdown? Do you think it could have been avoided?
Well, yeah, of course it could have been, but I mean, at this point, I think if we're on day 12, then as of yesterday, I think Trump has presided over more shutdown government than every other U.S. president combined. So, and the majority in almost all of those shutdown governments, it's been the Republicans who had the Senate and the House of Representatives, both halves of our Congress, our parliament, or whatever, and to see. Yeah, Trump continue to have shutdown governments while owning both halves of Congress. He's just legislatively, he's just an incredibly ineffective president. And it's very frustrating because he always has an excuse. But back in 2016, Trump was sold to us as the great deal maker. That was supposed to be his one thing, is that he could get everybody together and kind of negotiate. And it seems like he absolutely cannot do that.
It's so crazy that Trump gets away with this idea that he's like some profound, I needed one of those, like profound businessman that's like made some of the best deals ever. Like when he hasn't done jack shit ever, man. What the fuck, dude?
He refused to meet with the heads of the minority parties in our Senate and Congress, our Senate and House, Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer. He wouldn't meet with them, and then eventually, when they did come in, he's got his Trump 2028 hat on the table, and it's just like everything's like a joke to this guy. So
it's trolling, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean. The Republicans are playing games. Mike Johnson, is making all the rounds in the media. They keep lying about the Democrats want to give $1.5 trillion to illegal immigrant health care, which is not really possible. And then somehow we're in this bizarro world where Republicans are bragging about a new tax they have on the money they're making from it, the import tax, the tariff tax. And then we're also doing, I think we just finalized our swap. It was a $20 billion bailout for Argentinian farmers. I don't know why or how anybody's okay with that. So, yeah, I don't know what the play is. I think Trump doesn't care about anything beyond his own image. So as long as the Republican kind of propaganda machine can hold the party together and keep blaming the Democrats, as long as he feels like he's popular in his party, I don't know if he'll care much. Yeah.
What do you think about their argument saying that Democrats have basically delayed this because they wanted, to make these provisions to healthcare, and that they were using this as an opportunity? They needed to use this momentum and use it, use this 7-week period to try and get what they wanted, because you said they don't control anything.
I mean, well, one, that's part of, I guess, Congress. You have to make deals with the people across the aisle. When they keep pointing out, well, you guys signed 12 or 13, continuing resolutions. Yeah, because both sides were talking. But when the Republicans refuse to budge on anything, and they're not willing to meet or make any concessions at all, like the biggest indicator, if you've ever been in a fight with a partner or watched two people fight with each other, the biggest way that you can tell who's in the right is when one side is making stuff up about the other side. And it's like, oh, okay, well, of it. So when he's running around saying 1.5 trillion, right? When I'm having a debate with somebody and their first point sucks, I know their whole argument is bunk, because you lead with your strongest, point. So no, I mean, like, if it's just going to be lie after lie after lie after what the Democrats want, and again, you guys control both halves of Congress. This argument of like, well, we just need 10 days, or we just want to patch it for a couple weeks, or whatever. What have you been doing until now? This date was not a mystery. It's not like it popped up out of nowhere. Like, everybody knew when the last,
We knew it was going to happen.
Yeah. So I don't understand this. We need a little bit more time. Like, what are you doing? Yeah.
But even on that, I feel like it's so easy to be sitting in your ivory tower on the top when you're in government. But the reality is like these government shutdowns affect everyday people. So contractors like cafeteria workers, cleaners, they're going to have they won't receive back pay for this 12 plus days that they're out of work. There will also be delayed paychecks for 2 million federal workers. And
That's
of course,
crazy,
this will affect small
dude.
businesses and the wider economy. So are they working quicker, Congress? Are they working quick enough with the idea of who they're working for? Does that make sense? Do they know who they're trying to help?
The government?
Yeah. Or are they just so in their own world?
That's a complicated question, because we're so detached from reality in our media environment. And one of the reasons why Republicans have gotten away with lying about everything for so long is because we're so detached from reality. People don't see the impact sometimes of what they vote for. And the American people voted, not just in the Electoral College, but even in the popular vote, we voted for a conservative government. And if Americans are going to keep voting for conservative governments that keep shutting down the government, that keep having people not get paid, that keep building Qatari air bases or allowing them to train F-15 F-15 pilots in our country and bail out Argentinian farmers and bail out our own farmers because our trade wars are costing us money. I mean, that's what the American people are voting for. Like, I don't know. It can't be that you're always blaming the minority party for every single thing that's going on. Like, are you saying you can't govern?
Hold on, dude. I'm sorry, little tiny man. So what does he do? All right. So Oberon grants righteousness, negation to himself and allies and affinity. Range when he gets health orbs, protecting players against the next instance of damage, and stacks up to. Holy shit. Okay. He just makes everyone invincible. He sanctifies the ground around Oberon, inflicting radiation damage to all enemies within the radius. Also grants protection against status effects for Oberon and his allies. Okay. Generates a protective aura that grants bonus armor to Oberon and his allies and restores health over time. Healing is doubled within the radius of hallowed ground. Holy Jesus, okay. Lift emits enemies into the air and then hurls them down with conviction, removing their armor. Enemies hit by this ability will grant Oberon additional armor and have a chance to spawn health orbs when they die. That's so cool how they added like the little icons in there to go with that. That's so awesome. What the fuck, man? What a cool overhaul this update is so far, dude.
Unless you have a supermajority in both halves of Congress and the presidency and a 6-3 Supreme Court, like it doesn't make any sense. You can't. It's like a totally ineffective government.
Do you think that's how the Republicans operate in terms of blaming the minority party, or do you think Democrats have done that when they've been in power?
Absolutely not.
Really?
No. McConnell literally said for Obama, we're going to make him a one-term president. Barack Obama had the longest Supreme Court vacancy of any president in all of U.S. history because they refused to give him a Supreme Court pick. That's an insane thing to lose out on. And now we don't have abortion in the United States anymore. And now Donald Trump is immune from criminal prosecution.
True.
The Republicans just play this game of they've gotten further and further detached from reality, so they think that they can just throw a hissy fit on anything and tell Americans whatever they want to tell them to make anything happen that they want to happen. But at some point, you have to actually do your job.
Trump, on Saturday, he said that we have identified funds to pay military troops on October 15, and he will direct our Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, to use all available funds to get our troops paid on October 15th, so this week. So what's your reaction to that, Stephen? Because does it relieve pressure on the Congress to basically continue the shutdown because they don't have that pressure of not being able to pay troops? But also, do you consider it unequal treatment to the rest of federal workers that aren't getting paid?
Yeah, I don't know the obsession with just saying some workers are like more important than others, especially from Donald Trump, who loved to make fun of McCain for being a prisoner of war and would make fun of Gold Star families and everything else. I understand he's virtue signaling in a different direction now, but no, I mean, like your job is to fund the government and make the government work. You are the great negotiator. You've sold us that, over and over again that you can make deals happen. How can you not negotiate with your majority-owned Congress? There's no excuse. It's like he said, in the past, he said, well, the president owns whatever the shutdown is, and now you're the president and you have the Congress. Like, figure it out.
What? That's wild, dude. Divorce rates are down. Okay. What does that matter? I mean, what the fuck? But them divorce rates are down, though. But I still think we should give Donald Trump some credit for helping broker that deal. How well it goes or not, who knows what happens next. But at least for the time being, we can stop talking about the fucking genocide and start working towards, like, helping people. Hopefully. I don't know if he's got the balls to fucking see this through to the end, but let's see what happens. Oh, no. Oh, no. What is this with?
Your way has gotten us here. We're taking no risks with the Supreme Court by thinking the Supreme Court is this sacrosanct institution that if we look at it the wrong way, it's going to cause, I don't know, this massive political catastrophe for us. We're already on the cusp of political catastrophe because so many people, you included, think that it's like you're playing with dynamite.
You are.
Maybe we need to start taking risks, bro.
But you are playing with dynamite if you do this.
You're frustrating me because you give me the impression of somebody who never wants to fight and who only wants to fight when we're 1 inch away from success, which isn't going to happen.
We're fighting right now, and I support it wholeheartedly, bro.
No, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I never want to fight.
Did I just say
the fight? I love the fight that we're doing right now.
I think if Schumer kicked the can down the road again, if he had done what he did in April, in 2 months you would have been saying, yeah, that was the right move to make. To the extent that you support the fight, wait a minute.
Because you got me watching the news again. Oh, I'm sorry I got you back on the news, dude. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get you back on the sauce. Not on the sauce.
We talked about it. We talked about it on the podcast, bro. I told you they should pick this fight right now. Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, buddy. I was trying to find you this poll. You mentioned something about Democrats being seen as more extreme. I have it bookmarked somewhere. It's a recent poll. Actually, it's starting to turn around. More Americans believe that the Republican Party finally is more extreme than the Democratic Party. I'm trying to find this poll for you.
Do you still have a cough?
Yeah, bro.
Bro,
it's
like a 3-week cough, man. That's crazy.
It's brutal.
Did you go to a doctor?
I have. They gave me a steroid 2 days ago, and we're going to see where it goes. But
I would Minecraft myself if I had a cough for 3 weeks. That's crazy.
It's atrocious. As a guy who doesn't vape or smoke or do anything else, and who talks, for a living, it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But real quick though,
first of all, that wouldn't surprise me. By the way, that makes sense. Like usually when there's a party in power, the public approval moves away from the party in power, and so it just kind of makes sense that.
True.
Yeah, I'm trying to find that poll for you. I have a bookmark
I
somewhere.
take you at your word. I don't. Yeah.
No, I know, but it's I know you like to have that sort of stuff in your back pocket. But no, listen. As far as I'm concerned, like I haven't heard Pisco weigh in on this yet, but this is a big deal. This is a big fucking deal because all the, professional legal commentators that I follow, like Mark Elias, somebody mentioned Mark Elias on Twitter when I was freaking out about this. And like, hey, don't worry, we've got Mark Elias in our back pocket. And it's like, Mark Elias is the one freaking out about this. He did a video with Brian Tyler Cohen. He's like, it's probably not going to go our way. Yeah. And the Supreme Court's probably going to gut the VRA. Now, not a guarantee that that's going to happen, but it seems more likely than not. So it's not just me being a chicken little here. It's actually the people who do not just political commentary, but professional legal commentary and who wage these legal battles. Who are saying,
no. I've been aware of I know how bad this is. Yeah.
But my point is, and this is where I was just curious because I couldn't quite remember where you were on this, but we are 100% agreement that it's no longer optional. This court has to change, right? Like you recognize that not only can they kill a Democratic agenda, that's just a matter of fact, but they are now moving to potentially kill us from ever getting back into power.
Energy,
you agree that they are now the unavoidable obstacle in the long run, right?
Yeah. Of course. Of course.
I just want to make sure we're on the same page there. So now that we agree on that, it's just simply a matter of what do we do about it with respect to campaign.
Yeah, it's a matter of strategy.
Yeah.
Did you? I don't know if you heard what I was saying, but
I heard, and that's why I was jumping in while I was looking for this poll real quick. I'm not saying Democrats probably should start talking about it at some point, but my point is they should have been talking about it from the beginning. This kind of goes back to my long-standing frustration.
Like what? When you say beginning, what do you mean? Like when?
When they had power. This is something so when President Biden took office, he appointed a commission at the behest of a lot of people about Supreme Court reform. And it was one of the first commissions put out. They did their work, and he basically just said, we're going to disregard it. And then the Supreme Court came out with its immunity decision. And it finally got Biden to the point where even Biden, Mr. Institutionalist Biden, Mr. Just leave everything as it is Biden, was like, fuck, this is not what I expected. We need to have a constitutional amendment to get rid of presidential immunity, and we need to institute Supreme Court reform. We need to have term limits, things like that. So Biden was just wrong about Supreme Court reform. The progressives were right. He was dead wrong. And even he realized at the end, oh, fuck, this has gone much worse than I expected.
Well,
Democrats, well, no, he was wrong about this.
Well,
and my point is,
but wait, I want to push back, because when Biden was talking about, I think you're referring to the fact that he came out against court packing when he ran in 2020. I think that came up on a debate stage.
I think he opposed, if I remember correctly, any sort of substantive court reform.
What I want to push back on is the idea that it is entirely possible that internally he felt like court packing was necessary, but he understood that running on it would be extremely risky. Because if he
then why did he come out with why did he come out?
Well, he was in power at that point. That's the difference.
True.
Right?
But he was in power for 4 years.
Right, but I'm saying that like if you run, like if you're Joe Biden and you run on court packing in 2020 and then you lose, then what do you think Donald Trump and the Republicans are going to do in that spot?
I'm talking about him after he got back. I'm talking about when he got elected. When he got elected, he proposed a presidential commission to look into Supreme Court reform, and they came up with a bunch of options. The PDF is out there. It's really good, comprehensive, about term limits, about supermajority requirements if they're going to strike down a law as unconstitutional, about elected Supreme Court justices. They came up with a whole host of options that not only do many of our states, which are, of course are microcosms of the federal government because they have 3 branches of their own. It's like, hey, if states elect their Supreme Court justices, why can't we? Hey, if states, have term limits on their Supreme Court justices, why can't we? Hey, if there are mandatory retirement ages for their Supreme Court justices, why can't we? Et cetera and so forth. He was in power at the time, and for 3 years, he just kind of swept it under the rug. Then when he was in power, and it was after the Trump immunity decision, that was the game changer. And so he was like, we need a new constitutional amendment to get rid of, it was like the No Kings Amendment or something like that. We're going to get rid of presidential immunity. And we need to pass a law to expand, not to expand the court, but to put term limits, I think. And there was like another provision as well.
Yeah, I remember.
A binding code of conduct.
I remember.
The point is, Biden did that when he was in power. And I think it was before the election, if I remember correctly, because I think Kamala Harris ran on it as well. Or suggested as well. She didn't make it like a centerpiece point of her campaign.
Right.
But this is something that the Democrats should have been doing when they were in power. They shouldn't have waited until the last moments of the election to talk about it. I mean, I had Sheldon Whitehouse on after the election, and he said the same thing. He's like, we fucked up. The approval for the Supreme Court was incredibly low after the Dobbs decision. And then the scandal surrounding Clarence Thomas, his lack of disclosure, and then the Trump immunity decision. That was a triple threat. That was back to back to back. Their approval was at historic lows, and we were in power. We should have tried to invest political capital in saying, hey, listen, this court doesn't have your back. They're partisanly skewed towards the right. We try to do X, they strike it down. We try to do Y, they strike it down. All these things.
So do you mean they should have actually tried to take a swing at it when Biden was president, or tried to start laying the foundation?
Both.
Well, let me push back on the first point. That was just not going to happen, right? Like he was never going to be able to have the votes to pack the court when he was president.
I think that there's still an argument to be made that he should have tried anyway.
What?
I mean, it's not. Because you agree, like, did Biden take a swing at Build Back Better?
Well, that's a bit different because
but did he take a swing at it?
No, he did. But in that case, he knew that he was going to be able to negotiate something, and so he did get something from that negotiation. Like, what could he have possibly gotten from that Congress that? Like, I'm just trying to. What plausible route do you think he had to packing the court during his presidency?
I'm not saying that he could have succeeded. I'm saying that much like with Build Back Better, like he didn't get Build Back Better accomplished. He got a lot of it folded into the Inflation Reduction Act, but it wasn't like 80%. It wasn't even, I don't even know if it was 50%. It was just a substantial portion of the Build Back Better bill was folded into the IRA. So this idea that they only take votes on shit that they know is going to pass is just simply not true. Biden did have failed votes. It wasn't like a Speaker Pelosi.
No, but that's like normal. That's like normal negotiation with Congress, though. Like I'm sure he knew he wasn't going to get his entire Build Back Better agenda, but you know, you negotiate. And so that's what he did. And then they got a lot of those provisions codified into law. Like, what are you negotiating with packing the court?
It's not just about packing the court. It's about buying.
Biden did want an 18-year term limit and ethics code, but that was after the Trump immunity clause was added. After that Trump immunity thing was decided on, so I guess so far the disagreement between these two guys are that, one, that's a shitty thing that the Supreme Court is doing that, and they think the Supreme Court is unhinged. They both agree on that. The little dancing mushroom head did at the complete mission complete screen. I didn't even see that. What the fuck? So essentially Josiah is saying that Biden should have been trying to enforce these changes before all this stuff had been decided by the Supreme Court, when they were at their historic lows. And Hutch is trying to say that, like, he just didn't have the political power to do that.
Binding code of conduct. It's about potential term limits. It's about all sorts of things.
All
there are many reforms that we could have.
All those things require getting rid of the filibuster, and that was
for it to pass.
Yeah, that was never on the table.
Well, Build Back Better was never on the table either.
No, but I don't. These are not the same thing. I
know they're not the same thing, but my point is this idea that we can't take a swing at it because we won't get what we wanted is absurd. By that logic, they shouldn't have done.
But if you take a swing at it and you know you're going to lose, then you're really risking serious escalation when Republicans.
He knew he was going to lose on Build Back Better too.
No, but you're not listening. The Build Back Better, he took a swing on that because he knew he was going to be able to negotiate something and get, like, you know, let's say
How did he know?
Well, because that's how negotiations work. Like he was
like, confident. This is where my frustration is, and this is why I want to have this conversation with you. I blame your attitude, the prevalence of your attitude, on where we are right now with the court. Because by your logic, Hutch, when do we ever make a move on the court? When? You were against Democrats ever investing political capital and trying to make it a salient. You always said it was a low salience issue. Stop talking about it, Josiah. Low salience issue. It'd be great if we could do it. But it's a low salience issue.
So hold on. Let me try to explain.
Well, wait. My point is, it is simply a fact. It's not a matter of opinion. If you disagree, you're objectively wrong. This court is an insurmountable obstacle to a Democratic agenda, and now it's poised to become an insurmountable obstacle to Democrats ever taking back the House. That is on balance the probability. The court has to be reformed. It must. It's no longer an option.
I'm with you on court reform. I've never not been with you on court reform.
I understand you're not.
Let me make my point.
You have been with court reform in principle. You just have no answers, or you're willing to take no risks.
I do.
Getting to it.
No, I do.
Okay,
so
go ahead.
Let me explain. So there's a difference between. Let me put it this way, okay? Like, when it comes to court reform, you would agree that this is in a separate kind of special category than, like, legislation, right? So when we talk about legislation, it's very normal that this is just how Congress has always functioned, that there's going to be some kind of negotiation with Congress, and then, you know, a lot of the provisions are going to be radically changed. A lot of the provisions are going to be scrapped, and then a lot of the provisions are going to remain. That's just how every, you know, major kind of landmark legislation gets done. When it comes to court reform, that's something that when you take a swing at it, that's something that you need to, that's something that you need, there needs to be, how do I phrase this? Hold on.
While you're doing that, your chat, so many people in your chat are so fucking stupid. Susie Baca, this is how radicals lose the centrists. Okay, and they're talking about court packing. The Republicans pack the court, you stupid fucks.
Okay, wait. Okay,
they pack the court.
Susie, don't listen
to him. They pack the court by stealing Obama's nominee. And then they packed the court again by changing their own fucking rule in 2020. They packed the court. And this idea that, oh my God, if we defy precedent, they already have a Republican supermajority. It's very likely that at the end of Trump's presidency, they will have a MAGA supermajority.
Okay, right.
We can't do anything because Republicans will then try to act in bad faith. They're going to act in bad faith anyway. Stupid fucks.
So this is a conversation.
Josiah, bro, chill out, man. You're kind of crashing the fuck out.
You can't wield power aggressively because you can't defend yourself. Because, like, what if, like, your abuser hit you back harder? You people are so fucking dumb, objectively wrong and stupid.
All right. So you're very angry. I get it. Okay, but sometimes I feel like we don't make our best decisions when we're angry. The point that I'm trying to make when it comes to court reform and the potentiality of actually like expanding the Supreme Court, adding Supreme Court justices. Would you agree that that's one thing? That's one goal that Democrats need to that the moment that they go for that.
I'm obviously not talking about all of Hutch's chat. Just want to put that out there. Just the stupid ones.
The moment that they go for that needs,
like Susie.
They need to pick their spot for doing something like that. Because if you swing too early, in the case of Biden, should have gone around the country and talked about the importance of expanding.
Yeah, dude. We can't talk about guns after the shooting. This is my problem with Hutch, dude. I've always had this problem with Hutch. He has an idea. He's got, like, dude, out of all the libs that learn, he's the one I like the most. I fucking hate Pisco. Josiah gets on my fucking nerves. And then him and the soy boy, or IRA, I fuck with. But he's always so fucking milquetoast, dude.
In the Supreme Court, the risk of that is so substantial, because look what happened. Biden is inaugurated 4 years later. Republicans have another trifecta, and what is to stop them in that moment from saying, well, we already know what they're going to do the next time they get power, so we're just going to pack the court with 20 Supreme Court justices who will let us, basically gerrymander our districts.
They already have a 6-3 conservative supermajority. Why would they do that? And even if they did do that, how would it fundamentally change anything?
You're just dismissing the possibility that they would add like 6 more justices if they knew that Democrats were going to do that the next time they're in power?
Why would they do that when they already have a supermajority? It's not like it's a 50-50.
Why would they do that?
It's
what do you mean?
It's not even a 5-4.
No, what you're saying makes no sense. Why would they do that? Why do you think they would do that?
Hutch, what have they done?
Wait, I want you to answer that question.
Hang on, let's game this out.
No. Steel man my argument. Why would they add 6 more justices?
I don't think there's a good steel man for your argument,
of
because
wait, stop.
No,
hold
wait,
on.
What? Hutch,
he has not.
How would it fundamentally? Is there a constitutional?
The Supreme Court they have not let Trump do everything he wants to do. You understand that, right? Like, they have actually blocked him several times. They would add more justices.
I don't know about several times. Certainly not this term. I think the Kilmer-Abrego Garcia won, and I think they've temporarily said that Lisa Cook can remain on the Federal Reserve. But other than that, anytime this has gotten to the Supreme Court via the shadow docket, no, he's on a fucking winning streak.
But if you add 10 more, Trump appointees to the Supreme Court.
So yes, it would go. You're right. It would go from 95% victory rate to like 100% victory rate. But what's your point about what does that have to do about future packing of the court? What's your point?
Because they could pack the court so they could stack it with what's to stop them from adding 20 conservative justices that were hand selected by the Heritage Foundation?
Could that somehow prevent us from adding 40 the next time we're in power?
But here's what I'm saying. I'm saying if you think the gerrymandering is bad right now, when you have like a 20-seat majority, you can effectively block Democrats from ever getting power ever again.
Hutch, let me ask you something. Let's use a different example. Let's use a different example. Have Democrats talked about abolishing the filibuster?
Some Democrats have, but it hasn't been like a plank of the party.
But has that been something?
And chat, is Josiah really bringing this up when there are dogs being shocked? Oh, fuck Hassan, dude.
That's been talked about, threatened, about carve-outs for the filibuster, about weakening the filibuster, either abolishing it wholesale or making more exceptions for the filibuster.
Not at the leadership level.
No, I'm pretty sure Biden also wanted nuclear carve-outs for the filibuster for Kyrsten and Sinema, and they just refused to go along with it.
These were pretty limp threats. I mean, there was never really any threat of that happening.
Has the leadership of the Democratic Party called for making exceptions to the filibuster to pass through their agenda? Even Biden did it. Do you agree with that?
I take your word on that one. If Biden said for the John Lewis Voting Rights Act, I think he did it for that, but nothing else.
Yes.
But I mean, but there was never any threat of that.
So here's my
happening.
point. Here's my point. Why have Republicans not totally abolished the filibuster yet?
Because both parties.
Wow, it looks like Hutch actually lost some subscribers. Damn, bro, what's happening? Dude, the libs just turn on each other way too much.
Like both parties in the Senate, the filibuster still has broad support.
I have a different interpretation. You tell me if you think this is plausible. I think it's because for the most part, this was also the case in Trump term 1. I think it's because for the most part, they're able to get their agenda through either with the filibuster or by making little piecemeal carve-outs along the way. They fucked with the filibuster in this term to get, I think it was the Big Beautiful Bill passed, if I remember correctly, that there was a provision of the Big Beautiful Bill that was getting caught up in the filibuster, and so they changed the rules. But they haven't abolished it wholesale. My thought process is, I'm not convinced that if Democrats start campaigning on expanding the court, that Republicans will expand the court, because I think, just as they do with the filibuster, their thought process is, well, it's already working to our advantage anyway. The only thing we have to do is just win the election and keep them out of power. If they decide to pack the court, again, it'd go from a 6-3 conservative supermajority to a 23-seat supermajority, then they might get more of their agenda accomplished, but it wouldn't prevent Democrats from packing the court if and when they got back into power.
It would just permanently lock Democrats out of power, is my point.
How so?
Because they would like, if you imagine a court that was like, 20 Donald Trump Supreme Court justices, they would allow the most extreme kind of like gerrymandering that you could possibly imagine. Like they would implement, they would get rid of the filibuster as well. By the way, they would also pass like whatever legislation they can get with a simple majority. And so
they can do that. They can do that at any time.
No, but they would 100%. But like if Democrats right now started, if it was like a party wide strategy, Schumer and Pelosi and Jeffries and all the major, like, we are going to get rid of the filibuster and we're going to, they would get rid of it immediately right now. And then it's like, okay, well, are we repealing and replacing Obamacare at this point? Like,
yeah, I mean, it is kind of true that Hutch is kind of like, he's thinking long term, and he really is. But long term thinking can't always be the solution. Like if we wait so long, with the Supreme Court we have now, God knows what they're going to overturn. There are some really scary things going to the Supreme Court that shouldn't be going there, and they're kind of just cool with a lot of crazy shit right now. But Hutch is also right that if they pack in a bunch of MAGA dickheads, that could be theoretically how they take control over everything. Right now, the Supreme Court does have a vested self-interest and self-preservation because they're also thinking long-term. This is a sticky subject, man, and it's very complicated.
Like, are we, doing a federal abortion ban? Like, the dam would open immediately. And right now, the Democrats, I think, are especially if this VRA decision comes from the Supreme Court and it makes it like that much more difficult for Democrats to take power. It's like, you have to like, I think there's something to be said about just being smart about when you take your shot at something. And like right now, Democrats just have no leverage to like make these kinds of threats. And the threat of Republicans getting ahead.
I remember Tiny saying that Obama should have packed the courts before he left. I disagreed with him then.
Of it, and then putting in even more institutional hurdles for the Democratic Party that will make their job of taking power eventually that much more difficult. I just feel like we're in no position to do that right now.
Why did Biden and Kamala even mention it? I don't think they made it nearly as much of a priority. But why did they endorse Supreme Court reform while Biden was in office in his final year before the election? Why did both of them do that?
Well, they endorsed Supreme Court reforms, but they didn't endorse packing the court.
True.
So that's the red line. You're saying when it comes to packing the court, that's the one the others, term limits, binding codes of conduct, things of that nature, that's something we can afford to take a shot at.
Yeah.
While we're in power or during the campaign. It's literally expanding the court.
Yeah, because once you start expanding the court, that's Pandora's box just burst wide open.
So you don't support expanding the court?
No, I do in principle, but I think the difference between you and me is I think you need to be very strategic about like when you make that push, because when you make the push, better be the time that you actually get it done. You can't make that push and then fail, because the Republicans will do it 1,000% the second they get back in power.
Thomas should be removed immediately. Yeah, isn't he like a hardcore mega dick suck, right? Because I know one of them is like really, really into Donald Trump.
You understand what I'm saying? Like that needs to be a shot
think,
that you
but
don't
why
miss.
wouldn't-
You
even if you
cannot
succeed-
miss that shot.
Even if you succeed, even if you succeed, why wouldn't they do it when they get back in power?
Well, they probably will. That's the thing. It's going to be a back and forth thing at that point, you know. Like, and then
So,
I don't even know.
I just want to be. I want to double check on this. So your hesitation is not that they will do it too.
It would
It's you
have to
think they'll
be-
do it first.
It would have to be. You would have to pass some kind of. I don't know if this would require a constitutional amendment, but you would.
Yeah, Josiah, we should do nothing at all out of fear that the Republicans will retaliate. Lol.
Have to package in reforms with expanding the court. And so you would have to package in like the people vote on Supreme Court justices instead of them being appointed and then confirmed by the Senate. You would have to.
Some of these reforms might require. Well, I guess it really depends on how the Supreme Court interprets it, right? The Supreme Court might say, "Yeah, it's not unconstitutional. You can pass this through federal statute." Others might say, "No, you need a constitutional amendment to modify Section 3 of the Constitution." I don't know, but my point is, I've come to terms with, I've accepted that any sort of reform we make to the court, the Republicans will either try to undo or to escalate on their side. I've accepted that if we expand the Supreme Court, if and when they get back into power, they are almost certainly going to do the same. But I currently view the president as untenable to begin with, because it's not like we have a balanced court. It's not like we're taking things that's balanced more or less and, making a risky gamble to unbalance it. I
remember when the Supreme Court made that ruling for Donald Trump. That's when I was like, oh, dude, okay, the big threat's going to be the Supreme Court. Holy fuck. He complained at one point and he would step down from court because pay was so slow. And he even declared a bribe as a gift, since then he accepted millions in gifts without declaring. What the fuck? Holy shit, man.
For it to whipsaw back even more extreme, it's already tilted in their favor pretty massively. And again,
I just feel like this reminds me of so many conversations I have with like Cinemarxism, by the way. Like is a conversation I had like 2 months ago about he was making the argument that AOC and Bernie should just do a clean break from the party because things are already maximally bad. And so, if they did a clean break and then that led to more Republican wins, well, what difference does it make? Because things are already as bad as they're going to get right now, which I just found that to be so unbelievable.
Yeah, because it can always get worse, man. It can. So essentially, if you were to boil this down to like, it's like simplest core value, we've hit a point where Hutch's conservative values are kicking in. Because we all have conservative values. He's hitting like the wall for him, where he's like, look, dude, if we go too hard on this could backfire tremendously bad. And it could have really negative consequences. He's trying to slow down and pump the brakes and like determine in real time, like, oh shit, And then Josiah's being hardcore progressive right now, saying it's already dog shit, fucking throw it to the wall. It can always get worse, though. And Josiah is speaking from a very privileged position of having, money and stuff like that. He's not thinking about the actual things from the ground level, though, those that are suffering under the weight of this administration the most. And how it could affect, those even further down the total pole than him. But you can't just roll over and let them beat you to death either. Eventually, you got to stand the fuck up. Where that line is depends on the person, man. It's a crazy situation.
Unbelievably myopic, like a complete lack of imagination. Like you really can't imagine things getting worse. I think you're doing kind of the same thing right now. Like you really can't imagine things getting worse with like 6 more Supreme Court justices that are conservatives. Like you really can't imagine.
I just don't know. I suppose I can imagine again going from, I mean, again, I don't know what the success rate is at the moment. I haven't looked it up, but all I know is he's on a winning streak so far with the Supreme Court. Even when he was out of power with the immunity decision, but since he's been back in power, he's been on a winning streak.
What about after the election in 2020? Like this.
If shot caller gate keeps going this well, then maybe AOC and Bernie don't have to leave the party. Is this destiny?
Supreme Court definitely checked Donald Trump when it came to his challenges to the legitimacy of the election. What if you have?
Do you think that they're checking? No, yes, I agree. But that was the court then. That was the court then. I think that the court now.
No, that's the same court now. What are you talking about?
No. I'm talking about in terms of its attitude and posture. I don't think the Supreme Court in 2025 is the same court as it was in 2020.
You're saying you think the same court would, like, if Donald Trump were to challenge 2028, you think they would just go along with it?
I don't know about that specific apples to apples comparison, but my point is, like,
that's a pretty big deal, right? Like,
I do agree that that's a big deal, but my point is,
that's the risk I'm talking about. That's the risk I'm talking about. You're saying just take the swing and fuck it. They're just going to add Supreme Court justices, whatever. Well, what if they add so many justices that are so deranged that they literally steal the election in 2028?
I'm just trying to figure out what you think the alternative is,
well,
because I feel like
on. That's a huge risk, right?
Here's my point. Here's my point.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Pause on that for a minute.
No. Here's my point. Wait. Stop. No. Here's my point. You asked me a question. Here's your way has gotten us here. We're on the cusp of losing, very likely. It's not
I don't even know what that means.
We're taking no risks with the Supreme Court by thinking the Supreme Court is this fucking sacrosanct institution that if we look at it the wrong way, it's going to cause, I don't know, this massive political catastrophe for us. We're already on the cusp of political catastrophe because so many people, you included, think that it's like you're playing with fucking dynamite.
You are.
Maybe we need to start taking risks, bro.
But you are playing with dynamite if you do this. You say that my way led us here, but I think that's a really flawed way of looking at it, because I think your way very plausibly could have led to 10 more conservatives on the Supreme Court.
You know what? It's possible.
Which would be worse.
But I do know in this timeline where Democrats are like, if it's fuck, the Supreme Court, let's just bitch about it. That's all we do. Let's just bitch about it and hope for the best.
Smart is what I'm saying. You have to be smart, is what I'm saying. You can set this as a goal.
What is the Hutch smart approach? Because again, I'm going to push back on this. We've talked about this on Live and Learn exhaustively, and you push back every time. Your excuse is it's a low salience issue, and I'm like, okay, Hutch, well, how about we try to make it a high salience issue? And you're like, no, you don't want to do that. You don't want to invest the political capital.
No, but you just
So you do believe Democrats should.
Damn, Josiah be sounding a little unhinged right now, bro. Like, you guys can have a disagreement on this, dog. What the fuck?
Be talking about this.
No.
And trying to make it a high salience issue.
What I said was they should be trying to make this a high salience issue, but you have to be very fucking shrewd about it.
I'm all for shrewdness. The baton is yours. You walk me through the shrewdness.
I'm not. I don't have a Machiavellian mind. Like, I don't know if I can give you the sort of strategy that you're looking for.
Broad strokes. Just give me broad strokes, because I don't know how you do it without talking about it.
You would have to have a mandate from the public. That's what it comes down to. You would have to have a situation where, like 60, 70, 75% of the public would agree to something like that. Like, you would have to have that much political cover. If you do it right now, when the Democrats...
Can I ask you something that maybe this is the heart of the confusion? What do you mean by high salience versus low salience?
As in something
maybe I'm confused.
As in, if I say something is high salience to voters, it's something that motivates them to vote. It's like one of the things that they, that motivates them to actually engage in electoral politics.
So you're not just talking about in terms of its priority. You're talking about high salience in terms of where it ranks on the priority, and also...
Well, I mean, we are a democracy, right? Like, even not outside of just the way that we vote, right? Like, we are a democracy fundamentally, because like the way that people stay in power within our government without being recalled or kicked out is that the constituents of those people are relatively happy. There's a reason why, again, we talk about this all the time in the reacts, but like a politician typically comes into office to work on a handful of issues for their state. Their job isn't to fix the entire United States of America. Though they run on universal messaging, they run on like reforms for their own like area, you know, for the people that they, you know, voted them into power. If the re-elections go very poorly, then they're no longer in power. So they have to like at least accommodate and appeal to as many people as possible within their district. If we start doing, you know, crazy unhinged things, even stuff that people universally want, like a really good populist president could really come in and unify all of America, or a big chunk of America, on like free healthcare. They really could. It's a very popular with a bunch of people. America really wants it. People are suffering. People are dying. Like, the problem is, a lot of companies don't want to do that shit, bro. But that's why people like Bernie Sanders always really gets really good ground traction. And we really need them to be out there. If rules are set up to benefit one side, we'll never get anywhere good until we change. Oh, you have to be careful, man, when you pick apart rules, because any damage you do to the structure can be done back to you. So it's a rough one, man.
So
Yeah, it has to be
separately, how much support the issue has, regardless of where it is on the priority.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay. Do you think that Democrats are capable of moving the needle on either of those things, or just one, or neither? Both, one, neither?
Either of what things?
Can Democrats see, what I took it to mean all this time, that when you meant high salience, it wasn't just a matter.
W shout out from Mr. Jones. I saw that the other day. Yeah, dude. Wait, Barnaby Jones? Yeah, dude. That shit they're pretty fucking fire, dude. I fuck with it.
Matter of how much of a priority it was as in terms of a motivator to vote, but in terms of its lack of you felt that it was insufficiently supported. Not just that it wasn't a high priority, but that there wasn't enough in terms of a majority.
Yes, sir. That's epic. Hoping it brings you more traction, baby. Oh, it doesn't. At the end of the day, I look like this, bro. I need to put higher quality effort into my content. It's just that simple. That's why we're changing up the streaming hours and working on video hours so I can get higher quality content out. And then the streams are just for really video games and political shit. And then music reacts will do their own thing, stuff like that. Try and change it up, make better quality stuff.
To support court reform.
Yeah,
that was what I took your objections to be, that it was two pronged. It wasn't just a matter of the priority. It was you felt it was insufficiently supported.
Yeah,
my point was always that Democrats.
I'm just gonna become a VTuber, dude. I'm gonna go get like hey, it's a step in the right direction. Exactly. I'm gonna go get like a VTube model, like a really hunky fucking buff fucking like ginger haired fucking dude, and just big old bushy beard, and then I'm gonna talk but high pitch as fuck. That's gonna be my gimmick. VTubing would be hilarious. Dude, I could never. I mean, people would probably like me more. They'd be like, oh man, this guy doesn't look like a fucking mammoth that made its way into a house. I watch a potato play Rocket League even though I don't like the game. You like the game. It works. Yeah, dude. I'd be like, hey man, what's going on? Hey. I'm not gonna lie, dude. This is like the most boring debate I've ever seen in my life. I think I'm out of it. Ty, what are you doing right now, bro? A Puff Peak Pro live resin terp pearl Hawaiian style session. Man, see, I wish I was a millionaire, dude. Just buy a Puffco. God damn. Oh. I don't see the guy's face. What's happening? Dude, I bet that felt amazing, bro. Clinically insane insane MAGA student tries to own Destiny.
So what is your name exactly? Who are you?
Stephen Bonnell.
Okay, so I understand you're trying to get your 50 minutes of fame, but it's fucking disrespectful.
It's 15 years, but go ahead.
Okay.
He has been streaming for like 15 years, bro.
Before I ask you fucking questions, I want to understand what kind of person you are. How many genders are there?
However many you want there to be.
How many? Oh, how many are there?
Well, I thought it was male and female, but apparently after today it's male, female, and snowflake, so I guess I'd go with 3.
I bet you have really high estrogen levels, don't you?
I don't know why you want to... Wait, do you have a question, or Jesus Christ? You guys think about trans people more than the people that... Jesus.
I'm ready.
You got a question? For real? I'm gonna take it if you don't.
Do Black Lives Matter?
Sure, why?
Okay. Thank you.
Whoa, she's trying to silence me! So what is your name exactly?
God damn, dude. That's crazy. That's crazy. Ty. What are you doing, bro? Are we touching tips, man? Oh, dude, what the fuck? What the fuck? I can't even play League of Legends, bro. Shit. All right, I'm gonna have to end the stream. I'll be right back. Vanguard is crashed. This is bullshit. All right, be right back, motherfuckers.